Ooh. Kind of close. That was my bad. Ooh. Ooh. How about that? Don't need that. Ah! Get this way. Okay. Look, it's the Enterprise. I'm gonna skip this. Oh no, I just... yes, just beyond that enormous looking jacket. Nice. Rathima, you're right. Speak to me. 12 be praised. I feared the beast had injured you. I see now why the others rated you so highly. When you were caught in the midst of the etheric bubble with the dragon, I was all but certain my next mission would be to find a new champion. Thank the gods for sparing me that inconvenience. I've got enough to do already. Which reminds me, Sid is working on the Enterprise as we speak. Let us go and see what he has to say. What say you, Sid? Will she fly? Yes, though it will not be a pleasant ride. Well, I dare say it will not be more unpleasant than staying here. 'Tis a pity the Enterprise is not in a better shape, but if she will allow us to quit this place, I shall not complain. If you are in agreement, let's return to Gridania. Though I would like nothing more than to set course for the Howling Eye, it is plain the Enterprise is in no condition to weather the storm. She must needs be prepared for proceed with our mission. This is also familiar. I know the station. I could just... it's no use. Let's go. Like, that would be so cold. Alright. Yeah, it looked like a caution. Let's see, where you are at. Okay, that's not bad. When I look at her, it feels as though I've come home. I can think of no other way to express it. Ah, how I long for the more agreeable climate of the Twelves wood. Yet I will not deny the Holy See had its charms. Endless detours aside, our Ishgardian jaunt proved quite an adventure. Alas, our work is far from done. We still have an airship to prepare and beyond, and a primal to slay. No rest for the heroic, eh? Where is... Oh, that sword is... The shield's nice, but the sword is... decent, I guess. Okay, where's my 43? It calms me to look at her. It's as though I might have been reunited with a part of me I never knew was missing. Hardly surprising, you did design and build her. I bear good news. The Seafarers have granted us our request to house the Enterprise. It may take as long as we require to repair her. Of course, it would be rank folly to take one moment to more than we require. Garuda, lest we forget, grows stronger by the hour. If we are to have any hope of wresting this benighted realm from her talons, it must needs be soon. Though I am no expert in the workings of airships, it seems plain to me that the Enterprise suffered much in her time in the wilderness. Am I not correct, Sid? You are. Frankly, it's a miracle she carried us this far. As you know, the Howling Eye is encircled by a raging tempest, apt to turn the proud trees to matchwood. Our battle will end before it begins if the Enterprise cannot weather the storm. Given time, I believe I can fully repair her. But if this tempest is as fearsome as you say, even that may not be enough. Confounded. There must be a way to brave the fury of the elements. The elements, of course, that's it. We work upon the element itself. Using the power of the corrupted crystal, we could clear a path through the storm and spare the Enterprise a battering. I see. You propose to utilize the properties of the crystal to alter the elemental aspect of the barrier. Seems so childishly simple in retrospect. Though it may happen not to you, Rathima, we speak of the manifestation of an over-aspected ether that can be found throughout Eorzea. Since the calamity disrupted the land's etheric currents, such crystals have been comparatively commonplace, which has been a cause of great woe, as they have been known to warp etheric energies, including those of living organisms. The point is, we could theoretically use a corrupted crystal to convert wind-aspected ether comprising Garuda's barrier into ether of another aspect, one she cannot control. With certain modifications, the Enterprise should be able to deliver us to the Howling Eye in comfort, however hard Garuda blows. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. All this rests upon our ability to procure a crystal with the necessary properties. Have you any idea where we might acquire one? No, but I know a man who might. A scholar by the name of Lambertin, who resides in Camp Drybone. Strange as it may sound, I met him during my time at the church. Well, Marquez met him, I suppose. Whether I had pity or want for a more willing listener, he would talk to me for hours at his time about his etheric studies, corrupted crystals being his pet subject. It was a result of these conversations that poor Marquez was observed to possess an uncommon knack for theoretical science. Rathima, I need you to return to Thalalan and seek out this scholar. Sid and I will set about repairing the Enterprise in your absence. What do we have here? 17, 20, I'm not worried about. Don't need to go get the dance right now. Welcome again, my friend. I was wondering when your travels would bring you back this way. Just so happens to have some exciting news. I've finally uncovered the clues pertaining to the whereabouts of the long armor of my ancestors. As it turns out, after the fallen hero cast the 5 pieces from the mountaintop, 5 of his people set out to recover them, intending to restore the master's name. What is more, they were actually successful in this search. However, when it came to uniting this site, Umbra's great power began to work their minds upon the minds, and not one of them can bring himself to relinquish his peace. Realizing then that the master's fatal pride was born of the artifact's combined influence, people have resolved to keep the pieces separate and to share between 5 the power that might otherwise have been consumed to 1. Thus did each of them carve his own place in history. The chronicles go on to say that years later, prior to death, each of the pupils returned to the scene of his own greatest victory and buried the artifact in his possession in a final attempt to prevent any one warrior from holding the set. And this is where the pieces still rest. You may be interested to know that the armor I wear itself is a replica set of one crafted by my ancestors, identical in all respects save for its lack of arcane enchantment instead of adorning the original. I know you might be thinking, if we were to bring the 5 pieces together once more, what would prevent us from being corrupted in the same fashion? Well, I've thought about it. What we need to only do is trace the runes we find on the armor onto every piece of warrior gear. That way, there would be no need to worry about a single proud fool becoming drunk on his all-surpassing power, as every warrior in Rome would be possessed with the same self-might. It's quite brilliant if I just say so myself. So how about we split up and begin the search straight away? If the location seemed quite evident, I would entrust the search there to you while I track down the other 2 with the tome in hand. One piece is said to be buried under the great rocks of Boulder Downs in Curtis, while another slumbers peacefully at Camp Tranquil in the South Shroud. The last 3 of the 3 rest untouched at Paracha's piece in western Danline. Unearth those 3 relics and bring them to me. With any measure of fortune, I've tracked down the remaining 2 by the time you return. Alright. Hold it down. I'll do that later because that one is intended that portion of the MSQ. Meanwhile, I actually do look like a Nishgardian warrior. Music in this zone is excellent. And that one is actually later too. Okay. That's more important. When I'm starting with this class. First class, from starting with third class, so 2 more grades, which I don't think I can get. I actually might be able to get that. At least one of them. 18, 17. 18. Oh, right. The ones I did were right curve, so second round. Why, yes, I am Professor Labertin. Beg pardon, you wish to hear about my research about corrupted crystals? Truly! Well, not that would give me greater pleasure than to discuss my work with a fellow woman of science. Do I want this? Not really. Not that, on the other hand. So rare is it to find fellow intellectuals in this region. 'Tis even rarer to find one capable of comprehending the nature of corrupted crystals. Come to think of it, there was another, a hermit to whom the church had given sanctuary. Curious fellow. Unsociable, rather daft at first impression, yet possessing an amazing affinity towards scientific pursuits. But to the matter at hand, did you say you wished not to conduct field observations, but to harvest a corrupted crystal? Gads, at least take the necessary precautions until you do not suffer from exposure to its harmful energies. I'm beginning to wonder if you have sufficient qualifications to handle such hazardous materials. Still, your ignorance is somehow endearing. Luckily for you, I have precisely the means by which these inherent dangers may be averted. Simply store the crystal you seek within this warded pot to protect yourself from these deleterious effects. Though I suppose you will be bombarded with its energies until you place it within the vessel. Well, perhaps I shall motivate you to work quickly. In any case, take the pot to Hasoko. I have a student of mine monitoring the flow of ether at Highbridge. Explain to him your quest, and he shall instruct you the finer points of crystal harvesting. Wait a minute. What do we have here? 24, 24. Nice, that tracks. How many times I may be to explain myself? I am not contemplating suicide, you imbecile. I have chosen this precise position to perform scientific measurements. What have we here? A containment vessel? Why, this is the handiwork of Professor Labertin. You thieving knave, I shall call the... Oh, you say that the man himself lent it to you. Then you must have sought me out for instruction, which means he has believes me to experience enough to expound upon his explanations. At last, the recognition I so rightfully deserve. Why is the non-tank DPS not item level higher than the caster or the okay, whatever. Oh, frabjous day, Kalu Kalei, that I should be chosen to guide this woman. Yes, I, Soko, the greatest professor Naberten's pupils, shall see that you successfully acquire your quarry. Your timing is impeccable, in fact, for I was just preparing to procure corrupted crystals from the burning wall for my personal research. There, the devastating destruction caused by the calamity has blessed us with a bounty of sublime specimens. But something tells me that naught but a perfect peace will satisfy your high standards. In which case, you must needs descend to the deepest depths. Amidst the flowing waters and the murderous Murinites lies the most fantastic formation I have found thus far. Take this highly advanced researcher's tool and use it to prepare a small fragment from the larger cluster. Place it within the watered pot and bear it back to me for inspection. The path which leads to from Burgundy Falls to the base of the burning wall is treacherous and terrifying, but advance with appropriate caution and you shall surely survive. There's a single side quest out here, which kind of makes me think it's a quest chain. Nope. You know about quartz doblins? Didn't expect you to. They're only found in the most dangerous reaches of Thanline. Type of goblin they are. They're just kind of crunchier. Oh yes, they eat crystals, you know, and around these parts there's a king's feast to be had. Makes the doblins grow pure, clear quartz right in their bodies. Think you can get some for me? Yeah. Good hunting. Bag any clear quartz back there? Them's what I was after. Clear as God's piss, no offense intended. And a ring like the bells. The calamity's changed a lot of things around here, that's true enough. But it's still a treasure trove. You can't ask much more as a miner. I was expecting that to be a start of a question. I see you come galumphing back. Have you the crystals then? What particularly large and lovely crystal? Professor Lamberton will be doubtless chortled with joy when you present it to him in person. When upon your return, do remember to recount how I helped you with your harvesting. King Scholar's sense tells me that you've obtained the corrupted crystal. Am I right? If you grant me a moment to examine the crystal. Ah, it is as you desired. Corrupted crystal overflowing with wind aspect ether. Remind me, for what purpose you intended to use this crystal again? What? To breach a barrier comprised of wind aspect ether? Oh, dear. That may prove problematic, as this crystal would only serve to strengthen the barrier. I suppose I'm at fault for not inquiring as to your objective from the start. Had I known your intent, I would never have sent you to Hahasuko. But what is science if not all in there? And can you truly say this failure has taught you nothing? Think, woman. Now that you understand the methods necessary to safely collect a corrupted crystal, you will doubtless have no difficulty doing so once more. What's more, crystal you collected can serve as an invaluable resource for the theoretical studies conducted by the students of Baldessian. You've heard of them? Well, I don't mean to boast, but I have a professional relationship with the organization. Not as equals, of course. I would never be so bold to claim that level of expertise. Are you alright? Your eyes seem to have glazed over for a moment. Anyway, I shan't keep you from your task. You still have corrupted crystal to find. Yeah, that is actually an upgrade. What am I wearing? Ah, that's an upgrade. Corrupted crystals of sufficient size and strength are not all that common, I fear. Fortunately, one of my other students, Sienna, claims to have discovered another promising site in eastern Lanacea. Wait, that's not correct. Eastern Lanacea, where she was nearly killed when wandering too close to an Imperial castrum. Now that made for an amusing anecdote. It was Western Lanacea, very serious on the islands of Umbra to be precise. I can't recall the exact reasoning, something to do with one of Dalamu's talents or some such nonsense. Well, I can say for certain that she was still in Aleport, attempting to gain access to the Isles. But not traveled there to see if Sienna's inquiries bear fruit. You might find, if you can look past the crass and violent ways of the local pirates, you might find your time there to be quite pleasurable. Oh, and do not forget to take your makeshift watered pot, lest he think you unprepared for the task. Eh? Corrupted crystals? Madam, I have no interest in being your butt of your jokes, so if you have no other reason to address me, kindly leave me be. Well, I'll be damned. Professor Lamberton did send you. Beg your pardon, seems we got on the wrong foot. I'm Sienna, greatest of the professor's pupils, which is doubtless why he bid you seek me out. Indeed, I am an accomplished scholar and with an extensive background and... Oh, God. Just listen to me on, prattle on and on. I must have given this instruction a dozen times by now. As I told the professor many missives, I believe the area surrounding Vera Sirius is replete with corrupted crystals of exceptional strength. Unfortunately, we have to test my hypothesis, as all access to the Isles of Umbra is prohibited at present, for reasons unknown to me. You see, my attempts at acquiring for this information are often met with annoyance and disdain. It's rather puzzling, since I always take the time to explain my motivations a great deal to the subjects of my questioning. Mayhap you have better luck wresting the information from these yellow jackets. I have all but given up at this point. You startled me. Don't you know better than to think about a person at a time like this, with all the fatuous gossip, spirits, and specters haunting the Isles of Umbra? Just because I know it's nonsense doesn't make it any less frightening.
You're keen on traveling to the Isles of Umbra? Bloody hells, lass. Are you drunk or just crazy? Ain't nothing there but death, death and more death.
Isles of Umbra? What interest do you have in the godforsaken place? Ever since we were forced to abandon Vera Sirius, The Isles have become naught but more than a graveyard for ships unable to navigate the shores, and a purgatory for the souls dragged down to the depths with them. Curious. 15. Oh, those aren't going to come up till later. Oh, I can't pick those up just yet. Ah, Rathima, you've returned. Tell me your findings. Really? Infested with the undead, you say? That is a very, very interesting development. Excuse me for a moment while I gather my thoughts. Worry not, my friend. I've given your findings some thoughts, and I've concluded that the talk of spirits is not more than local folklore. As for why all travel to the Isles of Umbra is restricted, well, maybe it's considered too dangerous owing to the abandoned affair of Sirius. Yes, well, anyway, while you're questioning those yellow jackets, I paid a visit to the local pub, since even an esteemed scholar myself enjoys dulling her wits on occasion. It was there I heard tell of a man named Skyfrin, who was recently detained for after he returned, wait for it, the Isles of Umbra. This is the first I've heard of someone actually traveling to and from there, so I'm curious as to how he obtained permission. Maybe having a chat with him in my stead? He was arrested after all, and I'm somewhat reticent to approach him myself. I have to go back. She calls to me. Sings to me. Tell Mimido I'm sorry. Give him this. He was right. Or could you release me? Yes, release me. I will go and tell her. Let me go to her. What does Skyfrin have to say? Well, that's not terribly helpful. I couldn't care less how Mommy misses his favorite bar wench. But what's that about a man named Mimidoa? Wait, I know that man name. That's the bastard who grabbed my arse the other day at the pub. Well, if you want to give him that feather, be my guest. I'm not going anywhere near him in his wandering hands. Not an initiate, are you? No? Then what are you? Speak up, Missy. I can't hear you. Bugger me. Is that what I think it is? Nah, couldn't be. You found this, you say? Where'd you say you found it? Skyfriend, you say? I was hoping to have a word with it, lad. Well, sounds like there's not left betwixt his ears. He's supposed to help me pack up fair serious he was. The company sent me to supervise a lot of them. Weren't getting work done on their own, see? Half them walked off, other half ran off, and half of them up and vanished. What's that? You've been looking passage to the Isles of Umbra. Why didn't you say so? Been thinking about dispatching someone to take a look on behalf of old Mimidoa. Tell him how the land lies. Ain't nobody been interested till you came a-calling. Whole port's up in arms about spirits and so forth. If I had the guild, I'd hire some sellswords and let them sort out. But you'll do in a bit, you will. Show this parchment to the skipper and he'll see you there and back. I'd offer to ferry you to the house of Umbra, but access is prohibited at the moment. Back to Sienna. So one had a word with Mimidora. I hope valuable time saw you saw it fit to wait amounted to something. You mean that disgusting creature was Skyfriend's superior? I find that hard to believe. But this Reddit passage does appear to be genuine, so it must be true. I must say it's really to work with such an industrious woman as you. I look forward to hearing your discoveries you will make on the Isle of Umbra without me. Fine. I fail to see the justification to drag me along on your journey, but if you insist, I will go as well. With 12 as I might witness, if you leave me behind for it to be desired some horrible abomination, I shall come back and haunt you. Take me the others on version. As if it's simple. Oh, I see we got a read a passage. Alright, then come aboard. This doesn't seem all that bad. I'm not saying I like to build a summer home here, but... Oh, hell's with it. Here, take your pot and going on without me. You've harvested corrupted crystals before, right? So it isn't as though you require my assistance. Speak to the man guarding the gate. I'm sure he'll let you in. Now, if you'll please excuse me. Beg your pardon, madam, but how did you come here? Access to this island is currently restricted. An old pot. I'm not sure where I fell. Oh, I see. You wish to harvest a corrupted crystal. Sorry, friend, but you're gonna have to return empty-handed. The Rip Master Mimidora gave you may grant you access to the island, but only authorized personnel may proceed past this point. Why, you ask? Look up and see for yourself. That doesn't help. When that giant massive crystal struck the lighthouse, it caused severe damage to both the structure and machinery within that once powered the beacon. Let's try that. Nope, still can't see anything. Contrary to what the small folk would have you believe, the fires of Pharisirius were not the product of a mage's thaumaturgy or a colossal arcane bomb, but an elaborate contraption fueled by ethereal energy. Repairs are still ongoing, but it's anyone's guess when they'll be complete. What's worse, all work has ceased as rumors The Walking Dead drove off the entire crew. Now, those rumors are incorrect. I've observed the fiends from a distance at the ship graveyard to the south. What's drawn them to our shores is still a mystery, though. I'll make you a deal, Rathima. Help me unravel this mystery, and I'll bring you your corrupted crystal. In fact, I shall begin searching for one that satisfied your requirements. As for you to begin your inquiries into the situation, it so happens that a party of 3 adventurers came ashore not long ago, seeking to scavenge valuable trinkets at the ship graveyard. I'd be surprised if they knew nothing of the undead's infestation, so it might behoove you to question them. Spirits. Well, wandering spirits all over the island. Gotta do something. Ah! In the name of the 12, be gone. They're not going, are they? I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, an adventurer. Thank the 12. I need some help here. The dead aren't resting so easy about these parts. How we're supposed to repair the lighthouse with all this roguery about is about beyond me. It's all there for the taking. 5 bleeding years of wrecks and their cargo. But those queer, dead things. And that voice. Actually, the voice was quite nice. This bottle's empty. Weren't that way a moment ago. There's something slumming suspicious going on. Oh look, I spy an adventurer. How do you do, Madam Adventurer? You know that big lot of sand behind me? Them's the ship graveyard. Currents bring him all those wrecked ships, and whatever's in the holds too. Cask of wine, rum, meat and brand wine. I'd be for the captain. And I'm a kind of a captain. You look real enough. A lot of them aren't, you know. Those that visit me. Wouldn't mind, except some of them are unkind. I need a drink. You know, take this bottle and fill it with something over there. You saw them too, right? Dead people, just shambling about, without a care in the world. Except when they do seem to care, that is, and start shuffling towards the water. I'm certainly up a creek without an oar. Easy coin, they said. Waltz right in, grabbed up the washed-up goods, and be on my way. Everyone thinks you're a ghost. Might have worked except when the real walking dead spirits about. 'Tis a damn shame, but ain't nothing worth rousing the wrath of them skeletons. All that booty up for grabs, but I got nothing but to grab but a ladle. Well, man's got to eat while he waits for the rest of spirits to go wandering elsewhere. Look hungry yourself. Can I see some of this here chowder? Made it myself. I had nothing to season with but salt, though, so it's on the bland side. Well, attendant, why don't you go to the graveyard right quick and bring back spices? I saw some nice-looking Far Eastern stuff before I had a scraper on account of a phantom. God, it's that voice. The single fleeting verse. I can still hear it. Stay clear of the southern shore, my friend. Took every ounce of my strength to resist. This talk of an unlearned voice is distinctly familiar, as if... That's impossible. They're all dead, aren't they? But if they have returned, that would mean... Oh, beg your pardon. I was just, thinking about something. Which reminds me, I've received word the Mastermind Meadow will be arriving any moment. Apparently, he grew frustrated waiting for that sweet young lass with skin as soft as phoenix down to return, which I'm assuming is you. I don't know what sort of arrangement you had, but you should probably go and explain yourself. What's been keeping you, man? You initiate? I ain't getting younger, you know? Some honey voice harlot's been calling out to folk wandering near the ship graveyard and stirring them up the dead and all? Oh, bloody hells. That takes me back to my days as a cannon boy, sailing under Mistbeard. I wouldn't dare, would they? Not after the lesson we learned them last time. Bah, they bloody would, though, wouldn't they, brazen old biddies? Some folks said as the first bridge would be the last, but I knew deep down in me bones that this day would come. And come it has. I bet me bum ear a siren's behind all this. Nay, not one of them sanguine varieties, Nishit. I think it speak of the other kind. Them what's got feathers and lure sailors to the water grave with its sweet, sweet song. Oh, but don't end there. No, drowning's just a start. See, even in death, a man stays bound to the beast, forced to do her bidding till his corpse can't do it no more. It's a face I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy, except maybe in drink, and I'd regret it after. Any road, it is up to us to stop this hell's-born hussy before she takes another soul. Of course, we can't stand ya marching off to war without these. Siren don't have no power over a man that can't hear their song. It's lucky for you I care a spare, and lucky for both of us I'm a superstitious old sot, eh? Well, she ain't coming to us, so we'd best head over to her. To the shipyard graveyard initiate. Can I range him? Yes. There we go. She passes near the shore. She's sure to spy the campfire and come look. Just a matter of waiting now.